So we are about to interview a leader dog. How exciting is that? We get to learn all about leader dogs and what it takes to be a leader dog and a leader dog career for dogs and training and all the fun stuff that goes along with that. Robin's going to be with us in just a second to come back and interview our puppy. We can put the puppy on camera, can't we? Can we get our dog? Can we get our dog up there so we can see him?
We can.
What's our dog's name?
Oh, well, I got to know the guy's name first.
Oh, yes, we can start there.
I always start with the dog. I'm going to give you this microphone, but tell me your name.
My name is Roy Trahan.
Roy Trahan. And I'm going to give him this mic, and I'm going to situate the camera so that we can see him, and then we'll get his service dog. I'm going to give you
Perfect.
that and just right into that. Okay.
This is very exciting.
You are a lion, and part of what you do is service. Part of what the lions do is service dogs.
Yes.
There's the dog. There's the puppy. The
Okay.
dog.
Her name is G as the letter. It's hard to misspell her name. G.
There we go.
There.
Oh.
There. Look.
Oh.
Okay, sit.
Okay, I'll bring it back there.
So anyway, what G is for, she's specifically trained for my diabetes. I'm a type 1 diabetic. And she literally alerts me before I were to get in trouble with my blood sugar. And she does that, accomplishes that. She's been trained to smell the scent that I drop into. Then that's when she would be alerting me.
Okay.
And she comes over and puts one paw up on my knee. But it's all scent-based. Other things are, some are scent-based, and other things are what we call trigger-based. Autism, for instance, might be a trigger base where a kid starts to rock or something, and then the dog would go into action. For me, what the dog does is she will smell that I am dropping in my blood sugar. She comes up and alerts me by putting her claw on my knee, and then I can go take care of it. She's also trained to open doors, close doors, open the refrigerator. She can get out on sugar pop for me, and she can go get my phone and my test. So she's pretty well trained.
Oh my gosh.
The cost of these dogs, if you were to go buy a dog like this, would be anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000.
And so how does that, so that's a lot of money. Yeah. Wow. So what part does the lions play in that?
The lions are the people who find the people who need the dogs.
Okay.
And then you approach, of course, the Seeing Eye Dogs out of Rochester Hills, and that's how the lions play with us. So it's they've been doing it for a long time. They are instrumental to help blindness. So and this dog is just trained for diabetes. Others are trained for blindness. The blindness dogs are anywhere from about $25,000 to $30,000 each.
Wow.
But you have to consider all the training that goes into that dog. I mean, how do you teach a dog to look up at the stoplight and notice that it's red or in the middle or in the bottom? And that's what the dog sees. So it becomes pretty involved. It really does.
Could imagine. Well, I've seen service dogs, but I've not ever known anyone who had a service dog because of blood sugar. But I've read about that. So is it only when your sugar goes low?
Yes. Now you can also train a dog to smell it high as well. G is just trained on low, but you can also train high as well. There's all sorts of things that the dogs are. I was reading an article a few months ago on a cervical cancer and uterine cancer, and the dogs were 100% accurate over a 7-month period of time. They out-diagnosed the machines.
You're kidding.
And even the most, I know of one case where the dog was, the first detection machine said, nope, she's all set. The dog was saying the woman had cancer. And they finally said, well, the dog's sitting on something. We got to do something. So they went and had her take a more extensive X-ray or whatever.
Medical procedure, okay.
And they found it was a small little bit of the dog saved again.
Wow.
Again. So they're 100% accurate.
That is amazing. Well, it's amazing that the Lions can help find dogs and connect people. And so much of, I think, what this is all about is finding connections and having a place to say, hey, these things are happening, that type of thing. So,
and if a person, let's say I've worked with the police departments when the dog starts getting too aggressive, then I can go in and correct that. If a person has a seeing eye dog and the dog is starting to act out in some way, then I go in and correct it. That's sort of the things that I do.
okay.
Dog behaviors and training. And when I say behaviors, most people recognize the name Caesar Malone.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I do. I go into homes and I retrain, I rehab the dog and I train people. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, this has been very informative.
Okay.
Very informative.
Good.
I appreciate it very much, and I obviously I'm a Lion supporter because I'm here on behalf of coordinating this event and all the things that they do, and I didn't know about the dogs. It's terrific.
Yeah, it's a marriage of dog and human that is. I can't begin to tell you what sort of bond you get with your dog. If a person is blind, they have to go to they go into a room and they start marching dogs by them until the dog finally, there'll be a connection.
The dog finds the person.
Yes, that is their dog. That is their dog.
Interesting.
So, yep, that's how it works. Now with G, I trained her because I am a behaviorist. I trained her from when she was 9 weeks old. So there's all sorts of little things that people do to train these dogs, whether it's a seeing eye dog or whatever. But for instance, they always have to have the attitude that nothing comes for free in their life. So even when they're puppies, you begin to set 2x4s, things like barriers up between them and their food, so that they know that they have to work to get to them. Then they expect nothing for free in their life. So they're amazing animals. One little known fact is that they actually do work. They actually live a little less lifespan. Seeing eye dogs. They literally give part of their life, and that happens because of lack of sleep. They are on the human sleep cycle rather than the dog sleep cycle. And that dog right there probably needs about 16 hours of sleep a day, 15 to 16. And they don't get that.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
okay.
Interesting. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming up here with the service dog and talking about the Lions and just, I love it when every time I learn something new.
Okay.
I appreciate it very much. Thank
you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. I have a 1-minute Lions Club video I'd like to share. So I'm going to set that up. 1 minute video. We have 5 minutes until the next drawing. Oh, yeah.
One more thing I'd like to say about service dogs is that if you see a service dog in a store, try the best you can to ignore the dog. Act like the dog is not there. Don't even make eye contact with the dog. Nothing. The dog is invisible to you. The reason for that is because the dog goes into a pet mode and it wants to be petted. And it starts making eye contact and things like that. And what that does is take the dog out of work mode and into pet mode. So then sometimes the handler, which would be me, has to be stern with the dog. We don't want to, but we have to snap that dog back into work conditions. So that's what, if you ever see a service dog, do not make eye contact with the dog. You can tell the owner, or you can ask the owner, may I pet the dog? And don't be offended if they say no, because if you do that too much, the dog's training begins to break down over time. So we tend not to like to let people pet the dogs. And if you see somebody who is letting the dog be petted all the time, that probably is not a real service dog.
Thank you so much, Roy.